Hello, my name is Mark Anthony DuBose Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. Today I want to talk about dogs in a way of upfront saying thank you. Thank you for being here, and today hopefully I can show you something to be able to make your life a little bit easier working with your dogs. There's some little tips and tricks that I've come along with learning to be able to just make some things simple, because there's one thing that I've come to realize about dogs, that they are simple. Simple, sometimes easy, but simple, and most of the time easy. And more times we try to complicate some things, the more times we're going to keep on running into what I'm going to say is failure. You know, trying to ask your dog to sit, trying to ask your dog to down, trying to ask your dog to do what I'm talking about today in place, that if you're not finding success, I'm going to say that it's more than likely because you're complicating things that should be so simple. And so simple, and with these things, I'm going to say it's easy. Sit, down, place, crate, recall. These things are simple to a dog. Now, try to teach a dog to wave, sit pretty, jump off things, go get you a beer out the fridge, get you some water out the faucet, go potty in the toilet even, fold up your laundry and put it away for you. You know, I'd be pretty fascinated by seeing some dog doing that. I can see them putting the laundry in the basket, but folding it up for you and hanging your stuff for you. Now that is complex. That is no longer simple. But the things that we're all looking for from our dogs are simple. So if it's something simple that the dog is able to understand, let's use some simple techniques and tactics to be able to get the dogs to do that. So today I want to show a little bit about this place bed to give you a little understanding that for me, you know, I get it. I personally don't use it for what I have, because I'm primarily outside doing what I'm doing. But I know a whole lot of people use this. And in reality, I suggest it to some people based on your lifestyle and what you got going on. It's able to teach the dog something pretty fast of what you're looking for. And again, to keep things simple for your dog so that the dog isn't like trying to guess what's going on. Because a lot of times when you say that word down, the dog they're guessing. And especially when you're in the early stages. When you said down, I want you to stay there and stay there. And when I tell them to stay down there, you stay there, don't keep creeping, don't be moving. So the bed is something to be able to like really just get into the dog's brain of being, oh, you want me to just stay on this thing? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And it's a fantastic thing of having a bed. It doesn't need to be these platform beds, but I don't know. I did subscribe to their thing to figure out how to be able to get their dealer prices. But this bed is phenomenal, people. It's a Star Mark bed. And this bed's been outside for years, been getting rained on, sun on, frozen on, snowed on, and it's still in good shape. I'm pretty impressed with this. They're not the cheapest out there. I believe they're actually the second from the most expensive one that's out there, but it works. And it's something that be able to help the dog out. And again, beds are nice to have nice cushions or something so that the dog can't just easily get off of it. Because that's where you're going to start to get more complicated. And that's where like the downstays in reality get a little complicated, because it's in the open. Where this is something that is like, you're there and I want you there. And today I want to talk about some things on the way that I've noticed that a lot of people mess up. A lot of people mess up because the dogs are on that bed like super anxious, like. And the reason, most cases they get that is because of the techniques that we're using. With using that treat to get the dog on the bed. The dog is sitting there anxiously, Johnny, place. You don't like the bed, huh? Get up, get on the place, place. Because the dog is anxious there because it's waiting for that treat, waiting to get that next treat of like, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. And then again, that's where, let me do a little training on my dog here real quick. To be able to get the dog to understand, this is where I want you to be, without it being some huge just ordeal, just something that is it's just every day. So that's the one thing that I want to do right here, is to show you. The one thing that I like using to show dogs anything that I'm looking for is using a leash. And using a leash is something that is just absolutely amazing. It is able to really just get into the dog's brain of knowing exactly what we're looking for. When you're just having the dog free in the house and you're using treats and you're throwing treats and the dog just goes on it, dog gets off it, this is why I'm going to say a lot of y'all are struggling, because you're like, oh, it works for these people, well, why isn't it working for me? Where I'm going to say again, most of these clips you're seeing are a couple of minutes long to a couple of minutes. People out here are showing seconds nowadays, and this is how you get it done, and this is how it's going to be perfect if you just do this. You throw a treat on bed and the dog goes on, it's perfect. But I just want to see the longevity. What's going on a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now? Because that's when I get called 3 months later, where they're like, it's not working. My dog is like crazy on it, and or the dog just jumps, it's just going back and forth. It's not doing what I want. So I'm like, there's something about using this leash to be able to help us as human beings just really guide the dogs and show them what we're looking for in a very, 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 and I got to put another varies on there, easy and simple way. Simple. When you're doing the treat stuff, it's complicated. Use that if you want to get your dog to get you something to drink and bring it back to you. Use complicated stuff to do complicated things, but use simple things to do simple things. To get a dog on a bed, all I'm going to do is grab leash, grab dog, walk with dog, put dog on bed. And then I'm just gonna wait. Dog steps off bed, I'm gonna guide the dog and bring him back. And then so if I just keep pulling the leash on this dude, he'll end up just laying down. Because that's what I want dogs all to do. When I keep pushing, pulling on this leash, your cue is to just lay down and relax, because that's what I'm looking for from you right now. But I'm not gonna have any expectations on the dog up front. I'm just gonna put dog on bed, I'm gonna walk away from bed. And then I'm gonna come back, have leash, put dog on bed, and I'm gonna just hang out for a second, take dog off bed. And then I'm gonna do it again. And I'm just gonna come to the main thing is I want to be the one telling the dog to get on bed. So I wanna make sure that this leash, that I'm pulling this leash, telling him where I want him to go. So I have this leash, it's pretty tight right now. And he gonna give me pushback, because what the heck's going on? But, and then I'm gonna tell him to get on. So he gets off, I'm gonna tell him to get on, and then I'm just gonna relax. I'm gonna relax as soon as he gets on. So as soon as he's on, this is where I am at this moment, saying that language to the dog, that the dog totally understands, get on the bed. Where throwing a treat is, can you please get on the bed? You know, there's time and place for that. But most cases, the dog's just, they're gonna give you pushback, man. They're gonna look at you and say, I don't feel like doing it right now. And when they don't feel like doing it is pretty much every time that you want them to do something. So we have to break that bridge with issues that are going on here. Of saying, dude, I'm telling you now, instead of just, please, can you please, sweet baby, just please get out of the kitchen right now, please, because I got this. And that's the time that the dog is on you the most, that you need this to be a concrete thing inside of your foundation of what you're able to work with your dog side of the home. So again, I just have leash. So I want dog come off, and I'm not gonna say anything to him. I don't wanna use the word. I don't wanna have any language, because what I wanna end up doing is if I walk towards, and again, something to always keep in mind is your end result, what you want it to look like. For me, my end result is I wanna point at it, and then they understand what I'm looking for. So when I take 2 steps and I point at this little thing right here, I want dog to know, okay, you must want me to like get here or do something here. So that's my end result. So my start of doing that is gonna be just walking towards it and just coming to it and then stopping right in front of it. If he keeps walking, I'm not gonna be so quick to try to yank him to get him to stay on it right away. I'm gonna just let him walk around and then get back on it and then just stand here. And he's just gonna stand there. And in most cases, what ends up happening is the dog gets bored, tired, whatever, and they start to sit down and then they start to lay down. When they're laying down, and if you really just gotta use treats, because you're just like, I can't not do it, because it's inside of you to do, which I understand. I get that. So he took a step off and I guide him and I put him right back on it. And if you just have to use treats, you do not, and just wait until the dog lays down on the bed. When a dog is laying down and it's chill on the bed, then that's when I'm gonna go ahead and say, okay, now I'll give you a treat. Because I get it. Some of y'all it's in you. You just like, I don't care. This dude says I don't eat them, but you just have it in you. You just have to. Then that's when you do it. But when the dog's looking like this, do not ever, ever, ever think about giving this dog a treat right now. Because for one, if you don't know 100% what you're doing, this is why treats are amazing. They work, people, but they work when you know how the dogs work. Oreo, get down. They work when you know everything about the timing and everything correct with the dogs. That when because right now, if I was giving it to him, I could be rewarding him for thinking that being engaged with this chicken right now is what I want him to do. And you're gonna just mess up. They work when you've worked with when you've got hundreds of dogs under your belt working with treats, you're pretty much a professional trick trainer at that moment, because you know what the right time to do everything. But for the average person that's not working, you just work your dogs and you just had 3 dogs your whole life, or even just 10 dogs your whole life, and you're working with your dogs. There's a huge learning curve to get it to be just right, the way that you see a lot of these people do on this YouTube stuff. And it's not as easy as it looks to get really, really good results. It's easy to get some sloppy looking stuff that's teaching your dog to be anxious, that's teaching your dog to be pushy, that's teaching your dog miscommunication going on here. But the leash, I just don't find too much miscommunication with the simple leash, especially when you're inside of your home. Now, again, I'm doing things always and everything I do a little more complicated, because if I do this in the home, this dog is just perfect looking and there's no reason. He's gonna mess up. He's gonna be excited. I'm gonna ignore everything that he's doing, especially if he's standing right here on this bed. I'm gonna ignore him. He got all excited about something going on over there, which your dog's gonna do in the house. You're gonna ignore it. You're not doing anything to him. I'm not gonna give him yes, I'm not gonna give him no, I'm not gonna give him touch, I'm not gonna give him even a leash. As long as he's on that bed, that's all I care about. And then I'll say, oh, you can come on off. So at first, I don't really like to say any words to get him to come off, because we're still, say, attached with this leash. and then I put him back on. I'm not gonna say any words, I'm just attached to this leash. I want him to understand. So he gets off and I get him back on. And then he's gonna always default to this down, especially when nothing's around. Oreo, you get running some chicks again, get them all excited again. Come on, or this way. You get one of these guys, you can push him. He'll figure it out. But he just defaults to laying down. That's just what I've taught him to always do. Get on bed, get down, stop, lay down. I'll give you leash pressure, lay down, relax, get comfortable. That's what we want the dogs to do. So at first, I'm not gonna say any words to get on, any words to get off. So I want him to get off, I'm just gonna walk and I'm gonna use the leash to be able to tell him, this is what I'm looking for. And then after a while, once he starts to just do really, really good, because still, I don't like using even words when you think you're ready to use words. You just still keep guiding the dog on with the leash. So something like this, I would just do every single day for a little bit of time. But for me, what I like doing right away, in the first 5 minutes, as soon as I can easily get dog on bed, and then I can have dog staying on bed and hang out on bed. This is the moment that I'm instantly gonna go ahead, drop the leash and walk away. He comes with me, I'm gonna come back, guide him with the leash and put him right back on it. I'm gonna instantly walk away. This is my day one, lesson one. Because I want the dog to know right away what I'm looking for. That I'm not gonna be standing here next to you, because this is what I learned in the dog school. We have small stages, put them on the bed and then take a step back. Put them on bed, take a step back. Put them on bed, take a step back. But the dogs are smart, man. They're so smart that we're like to complicate things that are simple. That I want dog on bed and stay on bed. So instantly I'm gonna tell him what I want for my end result. My end result is I wanna do this and say place and he goes on it. And end result is I wanna go wherever I wanna go. If I wanna go up the driveway, if I wanna go to the grocery store right now and I put him here, I want him to be here when I get back. That's my end result. So you should always be thinking about your end result with everything that's going on. And if you're doing these two small stages with things that are so simple and so easy to the dog, you're gonna start to confuse the dog to make it think like it's not doing enough. And I want it to know that it's doing enough right away. Because what I want is for him to stay there. If he moves, if he gets off that bed, I'm gonna go right back to him. I'm not gonna say no, anything. I'm not gonna give him any feedback. All I'm gonna do is grab the end of that leash and put him right back on that bed and walk away again. And that's all I'm gonna continue to keep doing. So if he moves, and he might not move, he's actually standing on it for the first time in a while. He'll never be standing. This is how your dog's gonna look. I like this, Johnny. You do place. So he gets off, and I'm gonna come right back, and I'm gonna go ahead and put him right back on the bed. And he gets off, I'm gonna put him right back, and I'm gonna walk right away again. And if he moves, he tries to come towards me, he does anything, I'm gonna walk to him and tell him to get right back on it again. And that's it. And telling him is by using that leash and then putting him on it. And that's the way that we're speaking to the dogs to let them know what it is that my expectation is. Man, yo, Crow is savage, man. It is just crazy. But that's our language that putting him on that bed. That's what I'm saying. It's clear. It's nothing that is some huge reward type situation. Nothing that is magnificent. Nothing, because this is something again that is just everyday, normal maintenance type stuff that we have with our dogs to simplify our lives, to make our lives easier, and at the same time to simplify our dogs' lives, to let them know this is what I want you to do. Again, the more that we're guiding our dogs to say, don't put your dog on place bed for 8 hours a day, please. I know there's some people out here that talk about that and the dog needs to know what to do and have a job all day. The more that if the dog is on there for 8 hours and the whole time you're in the house, why do you have the dog? Why have the dog? Let the dog move, interact, play, do what it do. But there's gonna be that time that you're just like, you want something, you gotta get something done. And you wanna be able to guide the dog what you want to make happen. So the best thing is to put them on that bed for a little bit. Now here, this is where right away I said, you're gonna put him on it and you're gonna drop that leash and you're gonna walk away. If that dog gets off, you're gonna go right back to that dog, put him right back on bed, and then just walk away. Just walk away, just walk away. The main thing I think a lot of us because I watch so many people, and I don't know why, there's like a disconnect with like the dog owner compared to the trainers. Because the trainers do, but they're not, I don't think, saying out loud what they're doing. Where I'm gonna say out loud what I see a lot of people do, as opposed to what I see. What I see is this right here. This is what I see majority of people do. I'm gonna show you, and this might confuse this dog a little bit, but I'm gonna show you what we do with the dogs, and this is why I see that dogs have confusion outside of when the professionals are holding the dogs, because I do things that are very different, and it's got nothing to do, I'll show you. But this is what most people do. Stay, 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 stay. And then you go into the please stay, 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 stay. And most of it is like what, not even you're consciously doing it. You're just saying that. You're just, oh my God, please. And even if you're not verbally saying that, I watch your body. Your language is dancing around like, don't do that. Don't do that. Take initiative of, take the authority of, take the position of leadership of, you're gonna get, okay. I want you to grab the dog and put the dog on the bed. This is what works with dogs all the time. Put the dog on bed and walk away. I don't give a crap. If he breaks it, I'm gonna walk right back there instantly and just go get him and just walk away. Just, who cares, man? Get off if you wanna get off. Do what you wanna do. If you get off, you get off. It's not the end of the world. And then you can just put him right back on it. It's that, I'm telling you, it's that simple to be able to get these stays to be really, really nice. I know you're going to be nervous, but the thing is, don't be nervous when you're inside of your home with thinking and wishing and praying that the dog stays. Because if the dog it stays there with you always like, please being like this, please being like this, you're going to pretty much, I'm not going to say always and nevers, but you're pretty much never going to run in that case where you're going to be able to trust your dog and it stay anywhere. Because you can't just keep giving them this pressure of like, please do it, please do it. And the dogs just, in my opinion, do not understand that. They do not understand that, I'm going to say straight up the way that it is, that weakness that we have. That begging and pleading of please do it, please, please. They don't understand it. They understand, oh, he told me to do it. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, you want me to sit there? Okay, I'll do it. You want me to get on that bed? Okay, I'll stay there. That's what they understand. So the more that you just go ahead and, Johnny, okay? The more that you just go ahead and grab your dog, you're going to grab the leash and put dog on the bed. You're going to put him on the bed. And then if he doesn't get on right away, then he goes and you just walk away. I turn my back even right away. You can hear him in your house. Most of y'all got these hard floors everywhere, same as me. And you can hear their foot touch the floor. When their feet, don't worry about being on it so that instant. You don't need to be on it that instant. If he's already all four paws off and he's walking towards you, you just turn around, you just turn back and you grab that leash and you put him right there and you just walk away. Walk away. The faster you turn your back, the more positive you're going to end up seeing your dog stay and just relax and understand what it is that you're looking for. The faster they're going to get it. But the more that you're just trying to do this buckaroo stuff, the more that you're going to keep on struggling with it. And I've watched this over and over, and I don't know what it is, but this is one major thing that I've noticed in the dog school that I went to, that my stays for all my dogs were always just perfect. That's where I get all 100% of my score, because those stays, they would just stay. I said sit, they sit. I said down, they down. I put them on bed, they stay on bed, because I'm not giving them all this extra energy. And then when I was in an internship at that school, I started watching where the failure is going on. These dogs are sitting on bed on edge because we're doing this. We're like, I hope you do it. I hope you do it. I hope you do it. And the dogs are looking at us like, dang, what you scared of, man? Because that's what our body language is showing to the dog, that we're nervous, that we're scared. We are nervous in reality. I don't want you to mess up. And that's coming off to the dog. And the dog's like, what the heck, man? What do I need to, what I need to be worried for? Why are you leaving me here? You're leaving me here, you walking away, and you're seeing that there's something scared here, and I'm supposed to stay here. So the dog's looking at you like, it's going to start to get nervous in itself. And nervous, anxious, excited, they all look the same. So you're looking at your dog doing something that you think is like scared and all that, and then the dog is looking back at you like, oh my goodness, and it's going to want to do everything it can to get closer to you because it sees that there's some scary stuff going on, as opposed to just putting the dog there and then just walking away. Walk away. You just instantly put them on and you walk away. Put your back to them and just stand there and wait. The dog is laying there. The dog is hanging out. Then if you got to do the treats, then you come back, you toss a treat, throw it on the bed, let the dog nibble on the treat, and then you just walk away. You walk away. So for me, personally, I just would never, ever give a treat to a dog that's standing like this doing this. I want them to be relaxed. Once he's relaxed and hanging out, then I would do that. But this is how majority of people's dogs are going to look at first when you're doing this, because the dog it's going to be new. And that's why it's so cool. It's so cool to set this. Like I said, I can't do this in the house because this dog would just lay down and take a nap. He wouldn't even do anything. But he looks the way that most dogs look when I do work out here in front of all the chickens, in front of everything. So this is how pretty much every dog's going to look, kind of on edge, like, dang, he got a foot kind of hanging off. And it's going to put you a little bit like, he going to break it. But don't worry. If he does, all it takes is a quick put him back there. There's no like hot lava around that you're gonna end up hurting yourself or harming yourself. Nothing's going on that you need to like worry that if he messed up that you're not gonna have any sort of success. The more that they mess up, the more you're gonna be able to help them, and the more you're able to help them, the more you're gonna have success. But if the dog just sits there for 4 hours one time, you put him on there and he lays down for one time, and you walk away and you come back and he's still there, that does not mean that that dog understands what you're looking for. It just means for that moment, it was tired enough, the situation was good enough that the dog decided to just go ahead and just lay down. So the more the times that the dog ends up getting off, and the more that you help put that dog back on, the more times you do that, that's where you're gonna see the real training happening, with the dog understanding what it's looking for. So, and you want the dogs, again, that's a sticky situation that a lot of people just don't understand. But I don't like to set the dogs up to fail when I'm going to give them a correction, like a leash pop correction thing. I do want the dogs to fail when I am just doing something as simple as this, to be able to guide the dog back on, to say, this is what I'm looking for, buddy. I don't like setting them up for failure that I'm going to be mean to them and try to punish them. But I do want to set them up so that I can help them, to show them what I'm looking for. And there's two way different directions here with that concept, that sometimes, in some cases, I still will say that I do have to set a dog up for failure to be able to make sure that the dog is understanding what I'm looking for. But stuff like this, there's no reason to have any hostility. There's no reason to be anxious. There's no reason to be fearful. There's no reason to be even super excited. This is just an everyday basic thing that we need. And a lot of times we set the dogs up for failure because we're looking at all these little things as like they're oh my goodness, it's the greatest trick in the world, it's this, and it's not. It's what we do all day, every day. It's what we're a part of all day, every day. And we need to treat it right up front as if it is just part of all day, every day. Because it's not all day that you're in your kitchen making a meal and you're trying to figure out how to get your dog out of the kitchen, because then this is something nice, the same with the crate, to be able to just use progressions, to be able to let the dog understand what certain hand words are and what certain things are. That if you're like, I want you to get away, a good thing to train is a place command, so that they can get away to get onto something. So then later on you can make the bed disappear and they just understand the concept of get away. But you gotta keep showing them, and it's just this every day. And this is how you want to approach it all the time. That when you're here doing this, don't sit here and think that you need to cut up all these hot dogs and all these treats and get ready and get prepared. No, you just do it the way that you do normal life every day, all the time. And you're going to see an extreme amount of success. Because again, the one thing that I do know majority of people fail at is because we go through the route of getting all the hot dogs and getting all the treats and getting all the stuff, and then running into that scenario that you don't want to keep up with that anymore. But just grabbing dog with leash, and I don't care what leash you use with this. You can use any kind of, I mean, if you could convince a dog with a harness to get on the bed, it's just being able to guide the dog to get the dog onto the bed. But you want to use something of a physical form of a leash to be able to get the dog on there. The best thing, the main thing is what you are portraying with your body to that dog. Do it with confidence. And all these things, do it with confidence. Tell your dog to sit with confidence. Tell your dog to get down with confidence. Tell your dog to get on place bed with confidence. Tell them to do it. And tell them, and the word that I'm going to use here is demand that they do it. Don't be, can you please, and oh babies and sweets and none of that. Just tell them, this is what I want. So he's here, he's doing this whining stuff. This is where this is where we upgraded. I'm going to give him a little more leash pressure to say, hey, no, dude, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. So he on edge, and then he going to sit, and then I'm going to keep on that leash. Keep on that leash until he does what I'm looking for. And he'll end up doing what I'm looking for. And if he wants to try to be pushy right now, I'm just going to be pushy right back with him. That's why I like my Johnny, man, because he's not the I'll just do whatever you tell me to do type guy. He gives me pushback, and that just gives me more training, more understanding of dogs, to be able to realize the differences here. Some of these dogs, I tell them one time and they just do it and they don't care. But this dog, he loves to push every little thing. And I used to not like that. I used to get real frustrated with that, I ain't gonna lie. But I've come to realize this past year or more that I appreciate it, because it allows me to have to do things a little bit differently, to see what's going on here. And to realize that I don't want to do the oh sweet babies all the time. I want to do this is what I want, man. This is what I'm looking for. So he started whining, or get off me, man. He started whining, and he started getting getting into that motion. That's when I'm going to use that leash the same way in all these other videos. I talk about leash pressure. I'm going to give him a little bit. I'm just going to, in reality, what I like doing is annoying the dog. I'm not yanking on that dang leash. I'm just giving him a little bit, moving his body a little bit, moving it. He's just like, oh man, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I want to snap his brain out of what he was doing. What he was doing was staring at chicken. So I want to snap his brain out of chicken to this guy. He's like, oh, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And just keep doing that. And then he's like, okay, you want me to this? And then he sat down, and I was like, actually, no, I want you to lay down. So then I just kept at it. And then he just would lay down. That's very, very easy, simple, clear language to the dog of telling him what I'm looking for. If he was whining and he throw him a treat, you might have messed up a little bit because you might have just told him that that whining is what you want. So please get a little bit louder next time. And or you may have got lucky that it told him to calm down and to be quiet. I don't want to do this 50-50 gamble. I want to have like a 99-1 split here. I want to be on the side of knowing that what I'm doing is going to be effective and not a 50-50 split of I don't know what's going on. And that's what primarily a lot of the just throwing toys and throwing treats give you, a 50-50. 50% of the time you may be on it, 50% of the time you may be messing it way up. I want way better odds than that. You know, I'm the one that's controlling this casino out here, so I want the 99-1 odds. I'm gonna give him that one in reality to make it easy for him so he understands. A 50-50 shot, he's gonna be confused half the time. And that's where a lot of us are struggling with the dogs because they're confused. They're very, very confused. That's why they don't listen to the simple things that we tell them to do because they're confused. You're like, dude, why don't you just get on the bed and stay there? When it's easy to us, right? And it's so easy to the dog as well. But it depends on how you're showing them and how you're teaching them. And Johnny, okay? And that's what it depends on. So what you want to end up to is, Johnny, place, you want to be able to point at that thing. And then you want him to get on that joint, just like that. And if he doesn't, then that's when you grab that leash and you put him right on it. You grab that leash and you put him on it. And I'm going to say it again, that you grab that leash and you put him on it. It works that easily. And it works really, really fast when you just tell him to do it. As opposed to just please, please, please. So I'm going to tell him, and I don't care. I don't have any focus on, I hope he stays there. Like in my mind already all the time with the things like this, I'm like, go ahead and mess up, man. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't even matter if he messes up. It's okay. What's going to happen? Now, if I have him in a play stay in the middle of it, you don't ever do this. But I heard a story like this, and I was like, dang, that's impressive. But if you're telling your dog to do a downstay in the middle of a highway when there's 60-mile-an-hour cars going both ways, and if your dog moves, that could put your dog in a life or death situation at that moment. So that dog better stay there. But not no one, because I've heard this story before, but don't do that. You're not going to be in that scenario. You're inside of your home. If your dog gets off the bed inside of the home, it's not a, oh my goodness, the end. No, it's just, okay, let's get back on the bed, homie. Let's get on the bed. That's the language that the dogs are looking for from us. But we're not usually giving that to them. We're just like, oh my goodness, I hope he does. I hope he stays. He better stay. Because look at this dog get all excited when I act like that. So I try not to act like that too much because he gets all crazy. But that's how we work. When we do our work, it look crazy to the average outside looking person, but to us, we're having a heck of a good old time. I could even be yelling, I could be swinging my whip, going crazy, I could be going savage looking out there, and this dog is like, we about to go get it. We about to go have some fun. Hey man, gotta get my jacket all dirty now. Get down. We about to go have some fun, and that's creating something that is what we're not looking for, because we don't want them to be like that when we want them to be calm. But we're talking to him and give him that language like that, and then you see how just excited he gets. Because if I just say, oh, look at that Oreo, oh, that sweet baby, oh, look at Oreo, he's so good, he's so cute, he's gonna get engaged with me. And I don't want him to really get engaged with me with especially like a sit stay. I'm sorry, boy, that was kind of mean, but you be all right. Get down. And you done. I just gave you a bath, man. You got dirty on dirty. Dirty on dirty. Get down. Now you done frustrated me slightly. Get down. I don't know what it is about this dog. You give him a bath and he just got to go roll in the mud instantly. Like he loved being dirty. Get down. So you don't want to have that energy while you're doing stuff like this, because you want them to hang out. You want them to chill. You want them to be calm, not to be all excited. So to be calm yourself and just do it. Get it done. Do it. Get on bed. Do it. Walk away. Do it. This is what I'm looking for. Do it. Make it happen. And that's where you're going to find success with especially a play stay. In the downs and sits, it's going to be a little different. But this, the dog should know, I might be here for an hour. In most cases, they are going to be there for a while if you're pulling something out like this for them to do, or you have something specific at a specific location inside of your home for the dog to do. We're going to be here for a little bit. So don't be on edge waiting. Just hang out. Just relax. Just know that when you're on there, you're stuck. And you're not going to go anywhere, and you're not going to do anything. You're stuck, and it just is what it is at this moment. Give that language to the dog, as opposed to the language of, we're going to play, we're going to have fun, we're going to this, we're going to that. No, that's not what we're doing. And that's where a lot of us are messing up, because that's the videos that we're watching. How to get your dog to place. Yay, woohoo, let's go place. And I'm not trying to make fun of nobody or nothing, because I get it. But that's the wrong approach. to get your dogs to do things that I'm going to say again is regular maintenance that our dogs need, such as walking on leash with us, such as sitting down in for us, such as going into place, such as sitting in a crate, such as just these little simple things that we're looking for from our dogs. They're not some fun hoorah games, but we have so many people out here that are trying to show it in a way that it's like, let's make it fun, let's make it exciting. The more fun and exciting you make it, the more that you're going to have to continuously keep maintaining that. And you're not never, but you're not going to get to that point that it's just the dog's just going to hang out and relax for you. That a dog's just going to be on edge all the time because it's like this fun, exciting game. We're just throwing treat, throwing treat, throwing treat, throwing treat, throwing treat, throwing treat, throwing treat. I mean, that's what we was doing in the dog school like crazy. We would literally be from a distance throwing treats at the dog like we're playing games here, games on games. But the dogs are breaking the stays all the time. The dogs are always running away all the time. The dogs are sitting on the bed, anxious as all can be, and it's not fun. That's not fun because that's not what we want. And it sounds and it looks pretty. It looks pretty at first. That's why us as humans are going to run into it because it looks pretty. What I just did here doesn't look flashy, doesn't look exciting, doesn't feel like I'm having fun with my dog when I'm just telling them what to do. It's simply making it happen. But at the end of the day, in the long term of range things here, it's not all every day, all the time supposed to be this fun, exciting, pretty looking thing. The first time you got hired onto your first job, it's not like you're like, woohoo, this is awesome. You know, it just doesn't work that way. And if it did, maybe it was that way for a week or two. And then it turned into every regular day maintenance. This is just what we got to do. This is what we got to make happen. This is just what it is. And that's where you're going to find the success with understanding how dogs are. Because that's what dogs are looking for, the everyday, not what you're going to do here and there. If you're going to start it a one way and super fun, super exciting, you better finish it that way. That's how dogs think because that's how simple they are. Now, if you start it in a way of this is just what I want, you're going to finish it in the way of this is just what I want. And then if I want to come in right now, give him a treat or three, it's not going to be some huge ordeal. It's just going to be, oh, cool, awesome, thanks. And he's going to eat it, and then just still lay there and hang out. As opposed to being like, oh, we're gonna do this back and forth now. You're gonna do a treat, I'm gonna jump off, and you're gonna put me back on and give me a treat. I'm gonna jump off, you're gonna put me back on there, I'm gonna give me a treat. You're doing this game back and forth. No, that's not what we want. That's not what we're looking for. And especially, again, with things like this, get your dog to get you a glass of water, not a glass of water, but a bottle of water out of the fridge and shut the fridge door. That's different. That's very, very different. That's going to be the extra. That's not an all, and if that is an all day, because you're trying to teach that to your service dog to be able to do such a thing, you're going to train that way in a way of realizing that this is what you have to do, as opposed to let's be fun and let's be pretty about it, because everyday things, it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. We got stuff we got to do. We got families, even if you're just a single person, you got stuff you got to do, man. You have things you have to make happen. And we need to put an expectation to say, hey man, I need 10, 15 minutes. I need you to be on your bed. That's just what you want. You want it set up that way. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a breeze. Stop playing these games with things that you have expectations of what you need and what you desire from what you're getting from your dog. Stop playing games. The games is what's making it look pretty at first, but giving you disaster in the end. Because again, all the time I see these videos with these guys doing these games with especially this place command. I want to see the 2-3 month follow-up. I want to see the year follow-up. Because I'm telling you, I trained this to this dog, in 2000, so 3 years ago at this moment, and actually now we're probably in our intermediate to go into our advanced training classes right now. 3 years ago, I put this dog on this bed. This is his bed that I got from the school. This is an impressive bed. It sat outside for a while. I have to give it to that company. Like, they make some phenomenal products. But 3 years ago, and the past 3 years, I've never used this bed with this dog because I had no desire for it. But 3 years ago, I was teaching him to put him on this bed, and this is how he looked in the school when I put him on the bed, as opposed to all my other classmates. Their dogs were on a lot on edge. And something that I'm going to say is very interesting about this is the fact that I'm telling him what I'm looking for as opposed to asking him. So years and years and years ago, I told this dude, this is what I want, this is our expectations, this is what I'm looking for from you. And he still understands it till to today. And because it's not some weird game, it's just very clear, simple, easy language to this dog. Very simple language. I put dog on and I expect dog to stay. Dog's like, cool, I can do this. I can make this happen. So 3 years later, this dog lays on this bed better than he even did the first day I got him, because he knows it stays better at this moment, but better because of the way that I taught him and I trained him to do it. That's all I want to see is the follow-up of a lot of these people with their dogs. Because I don't care what, I'm outside, I got chickens out here that are running and doing what they're doing. If I put this in the house, he just lays there like he's a dead looking dog. He don't even move. And that's 3 years later of what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and what you're going to end up looking like. So that's what I want to see from more people that are showing you this. This is how my dog looks by using these treats and doing this stuff. Without, again, I don't want to see no e-collars on the dog. I don't want to see no nothing on the dog. I don't even need a leash on him at this moment. This is just for demonstration purposes for me to show you how to do it. I want to see the end result of these people with all these treats and all this stuff. If 3 years later, I still need a handful of treats to convince my dog to stay on place for more than 30 seconds, I don't know if that's the method that we all should be following, because that's not realistic. And again, all I want to do is show you how to do things in a realistic manner to be able to get real results, not some fake looking TV stuff on the side where you're going to have some trickery going on, but just straight up, get on the bed and put the dog on bed and walk away from the dog on bed. That's going to give you straight up results. Oh, thank you. And you're going to still stay on that bed. That's impressive, I'll just have to say. It's simple, very simple. Johnny, okay?